Breakfast, and one of the people at the table said, "Brian, how come my dealer.com analytics and Google Analytics don't match?" I'm like, oh, I didn't really haven't focused on that. There's another seat up here, another one in here, and we looked side by side. It was off over 1,000 visitors. So I'd asked that particular gentleman, there's some seats up front here, to try to break out direct, referral, organic, paid, and see where the errors were. That's an awful lot of traffic, an extra 1,000, 1,500 people unaccounted for. So the dealer.com reports were higher than what Google Analytics reported. Also wanted to welcome Tracy Myers, who's sitting in the front here. Tracy and I have a new book out, and it's coming out August 13th. So we'd love for you to, September 13th. Yeah, that's correct. And so there's Tracy with his trademark hat on. So on September 13th, which is this coming Thursday, if you would, just go to Amazon, don't buy it earlier. There's some seats, one up here, one in here, one in here. So, and one back there as well. So this Thursday, in this book, we pulled together some industry experts to write a chapter on different topics: social media, mobile marketing, merchandising. I wrote 6 chapters on digital, so SEO, paid search, video pre-roll, the importance of reporting, analytics and attribution. But this is a great book for people in your dealership who you really want to help move to a more current view of how they should be running their dealership, okay? And so by pulling together all these industry experts on marketing, tactical things like reinsurance and other things, it's really, I would say, a more timely reference guide on how to run your dealership from a collective set of industry experts. So hope you'll like that. Unfair advantage. So yesterday we did 3 courses on paid search, and part of that paid search class we did something called napkin math. That napkin math was used to help people understand the value and role that traditional media plays in regards to your website. And then, of course, since it wasn't an analytics class, we didn't really go into how you would reference those numbers. There's some seats in here, so you can just pop in. So today, what I'd like to do is give you a deep dive. So the first class, we're going to give you a broad picture, and then I want to go into, we'll go into multiple persons analytics, because what I found about analytics is that if you see it a few times, it will become less intimidating. So if a few people, like in class 2, we want to just take a look at people who've maybe set up their analytics account right, not have their analytics account set up right, and what needs to be done, it will be really helpful. Meaning, between this course and the next one, which is at 11 something, 11:45, we'll have things nailed down. So let's jump through. So yesterday, Anita from Google mentioned Zero Moment of Truth. If you've been following any of my writing, the Zero Moment of Truth is what Google talks about that was inserted into the traditional sales process before the internet, when you heard radio, TV, print, billboards, kind of a desire, demand conversation started going into your head, and then you would go to the car dealership and get all your answers. The first new car I bought was a Toyota van. Remember when that van first came out? It had to be right around, maybe not, was it 84? Maybe could have been 84. Maybe. What's that? Yeah. Yeah. And it had the 6-pack little cooler there and everything. So I thought this thing was really cool. I got this burgundy thing, and none of the Toyota dealers around me in North Plainfield had it. And I had to go up on Route 31 in New Jersey, in Hampton, New Jersey, to buy this Toyota. And I remember that I couldn't really get a lot of information about it. It was really brand new. And I remember going in there, getting that brochure, and you didn't really know anything, accessories, nothing was really online. Today, Google's saying that the role of stimulus creates awareness, and awareness drives people to the internet in the zero moment of truth, where they're going to use 18 different websites to educate themselves before they contact you at the first moment of truth. And then today, that first moment of truth could be chat, it could be email, it could be phone, it could be a showroom up, and maybe eventually video chat. We created this graph because Google's graph really doesn't attribute correctly what happens in automotive, was that all this stimulus, radio, TV, print, direct mail, billboards, is driving a lot of people into the automotive zero moment of truth, where they're researching price, performance, styling. They're getting their preferences together. You know, my lease, my Infiniti, comes up in May, and I'm sitting down with my son, who's 15. And prior to this, I had a Cadillac Escalade XLT, and he loved that car, and I love that car. He's like, let's go, Dad, get a Cadillac. And you know what he said? Let's go to Cadillac.com. I mean, here's a 15-year-old, you know, never bought a car. Let's go and check out, you know, the colors and the options. And so today, once they're done with their shopping kind of research, they move in the first moment. But unlike going into the supermarket, if your spouse tells you go pick up some band roll-on, you're bringing home the band roll-on. For cars, people are not just shopping you, they're shopping multiple dealers, dealer 1, dealer 2, dealer 3, depending on how the experience is. They come through to some decision. If you lost them, that's okay if you did it with integrity. If you did the bait and switch, this is just going to pile up a whole bunch of negative reviews. If you win the sale, then you have to move them into that second moment of truth. How is that experience? What are you doing retention? And I've said this before, but I repeated a statement I heard recently. They said when you sell someone a car, they're 100% loyal. What you do day 2, day 3, day 4 really impacts their current state of loyalty. And then, of course, this is the cycle. And the idea will be that if you're really executing well, you're handling your emails, your phone calls, your showroom ups, if your service drive is executing well, this should be piling up a lot of positive feedback online, which is going to start to distinguish you from the other dealers in your market when people are in this zero moment of truth. And then, of course, you're throwing all these investments out, and someone said, hey, I want to really understand, you know, who do I give credit for? It's like, you know, what is the ROI of using all these tools? So here's some thought processes about analytics. These are some of the questions that people have. Aside from the questions up here and the questions I stated, is there any other reason why someone's in this class and saying, I want to learn more about analytics?
I want to know what I'm missing in my current.
Ah, what are you missing? Yeah. Well, have you connected analytics to Webmaster Tool? Good, all right. And your AdWords campaign?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Have you set up goals?
Can you talk about
Yes. Well,
Great.
yeah, so analytics is really going to answer a lot of cool questions. Like, so for example, someone yesterday said, Brian, how do I hold my AdWords management company accountable that they're doing the right thing? Well, if you connect AdWords and analytics, you could see the keywords that they're paying for and what are they doing on your site. Are they bouncing? So without being an AdWords expert, you could see, you know, I'm looking at this new car campaign and the bounce rate is 45%. And my used car campaign is 18%. What the hell are they buying? Meaning, what's a bounce rate? They came to the landing page and just left. They just visited your site and left. Analytics can help part of that audit process. So just so we're clear, our playing field today is paid search, organic SEO, and Google Places, now called Google Plus Local. And the cool thing is that if you are using social media, the latest version of Google Analytics includes social conversion and social metrics. Although for most of you, your social data will be very low, meaning the number of people that actually jump from Twitter and Facebook into your website will be relatively low unless you're doing something really special. And then what the dealer principal wants to know what the general manager wants to know. I have this big budget. You know, what's really working? Who should I give the credit to? And so we're going to try to tackle that by seeing if Google Analytics will give us some insight. Well, maybe I'll turn off my email shortly. So when you go to Google Analytics, you come to this home screen. You're going to sign in or create an account. Is there anyone here who does not have access to their Google Analytics account? They don't have access to the Google. Everyone has their access. One thing you have to be able to do, and this gets tricky, you also need to be an administrator on your Google Analytics account if you're going to do the fancy stuff that I'm going to show you today. There's two roles.
I would attempt that with if your vendor is not giving you administrator access to your own analytics. You can't get it in there. There are vendors out there that say, oh, we don't want you making any changes.
Yes. So that raises the bullshit meter. Like, you can screw up anything in analytics. Let's just put it this way. You can't really screw up anything in analytics. Analytics is really a reporting tool. You can't erase data effectively. Once a website is tagged, it just creates a pipe of data into Google's data warehouse. All of analytics is really an executive dashboard to look at the data. Now, there are some people who claim that their website provider doesn't want that because they're doing hokey shit with the data. Other people say, oh, you're going to mess up things. Well, I would say that you should have administrator access to your analytics because of some of the cool things I'll show you. This is your general landing page, and there's menus on the left. Is there anybody here who said, I really want to learn more about analytics, but I've never dived in yet. I've never even started playing. Great, that's what I thought. So one of the nice things about this deck, there's a little like blowout guide. So this is your Google Analytics menu. It collapses down into those 5 things. And under audiences are those choices, and advertising, traffic sources, content, and conversions. So what I want to do is tell you what are the most common things that people use. There's a lot of things that analytics can do. But for the average car deal, and when I say average, I'm not talking about average performance, just what you need to look at on a regular basis is probably a third of what analytics can really do. Why not all of it? That's a good question. It's because we don't sell products online, meaning we don't have a shopping cart to purchase a car. But one of the things that analytics helps e-commerce companies do is find out where people abandon the shopping process, create a sales funnel. So think about who bought something on Amazon lately? Okay, so what'd you buy? Can you share what you bought?
I actually bought the book from Grant Cardone's book during the session.
Wow.
Through Kindle, on my Kindle Fire.
Great. So you do some search, you type in Grant Cardone, shows a list of his 6 or 7 books, you pick on the book, add it to the cart, maybe shows you, hey, if you like Grant Cardone, you might like Grant Cardone. And it shows you his other books, or another business book, and then maybe you click on that, and then it's checkout. You understand, these are all steps. So what Google Analytics will do is show you shoppers, and then where people exited the funnel. So that maybe your call to action is broken, maybe your menu system is too complicated. You get the idea? We don't do that type of business, okay? So there's a whole section on e-commerce that isn't normally leveraged, but there's a lot of things in here for you. So out of all these menu choices, let's just rip through a few things. So under audience, and we're going to go live because I think the best way to do analytics is looking at real data, is this overview, which is up top here. The mobile overview is pretty cool. It will tell you what percentage of the visitors to your website are coming from mobile devices. Does anybody know what percentage your website? Let me ask you a question. How many don't know? I have no clue. Honestly, this is not like I'm an embarrassed person. 3 honest people, and liars. All right. Bottom line is, you know, in this particular slide, can't really see that. We'll pull it up live. That's right. This was about 15% mobile traffic. I'm seeing about 20%. Anybody much higher than 20% today? So the real question is if 20%, in this case, like 1,200 people that month came from a mobile device, don't you think it's important to have a pretty nice looking mobile site? Right? So if you look at your mobile site and you say, man, this is a really vanilla, shitty mobile site, then, you know, to spend $200 or $300 a month for a better mobile site for 1,200 people, again, if you're a higher volume, I mean, the store, which store are you with? Classic, oh, Beaumont, okay. So they're, with 10,000, you know, visitors, that means probably 2,000 are gonna be, you know, and then if you're a bigger store, 3,000, you understand that, what should be doing? So then under advertising, this is really important. In order for the advertising menu to work, you have to connect it to AdWords. And I will tell you that there's many cases where a dealer is giving us access to analytics, and we click on advertising, it's blank, because no one connected the two. Okay? What do you need to do to connect it? We'll just say, you know, what's your AdWords account? And okay. So whoever's managing your AdWords account normally needs to coordinate with whoever set up your website analytics account, and boom, it's connected. There's really important, cool things. AdWords itself, and this is where analytics can be like the layman's tool to help you decode a little bit of your AdWords situations, is this. Most vendors who do AdWords management don't give you full access as a dealer to go in and screw around with things. And depending on which vendor you use, you get reports that either give summary transparency, detailed transparency, or sometimes even a veiled online toolbox. The nice thing about when these things are connected, you can kind of play around and do a little performance review of what the traffic from paid search is doing to your website and see if it compares or how it compares to other forms of traffic. So here's an example. In Google Analytics, this particular dealer had 4,200 people come from paid search. These were the campaigns. They had a campaign on their store name, a campaign on new Nissans, attacking other Nissan dealers, remarketing, and you could see Conquest Mobile. This was pretty advanced, cool AdWords campaign. But you could see, take a look at this bounce rate. His store name bounced 15%. Look at this campaign here. Remarketing bounced 44%, meaning they came back to the website, didn't visit another page. This new Nissan, do I want 40% of the people that are clicking on my paid search to get to that page and leave? What does that tell me? It just tells me that I would get on the phone with my AdWords management company and say, can we review the keywords that are in that campaign and where you're sending them? Because half of them are kind of saying, this isn't relevant. You understand what I'm saying? Now, could it be something that's so compelling, they come on that page and they complete a form and it uses Ajax, so the page never changes. They submit the lead and they go on their way and the page never changes. But you understand how this is kind of the conversation tool to start digging in and saying, smell a little fish here. Doesn't smell fresh.